Guys, once again, welcome. And just a special welcome to latecomers. Great to have you here. For those who don't know, we are kicking off the new series called Fight Club. Who've ever watched the movie Fight Club? It is niet gebaseerd, okay. This is not based on the movie Fight Club. I just realized coming out of 2021, going into 2022, that most of us, and I want to say 99.9% of human beings go like, whew, new year, new start, let's go for this thing. But in reality, it's just another month with a new date. It might be the same season that you've been in for the past 2 years, 6 months, 2 months. God's seasons aren't in any way connected to the time that we experience in life. His timing is not our timing. And sometimes it falls on significant dates and stuff like that, but that's because God said it will be on that time. But the actual fact is that we are constantly in a battle, constantly busy fighting. It is always a fight when you are a child of God. The moment when you step out of the ring and you say that you belong to the world and not to God, then the devil will be happy with you and he will leave you alone and your life will be good. But I've heard it over and over when people give their lives to the Lord and they're like, leave me alone. What is going on with my life? The moment when I submit my life to Jesus, it feels like everything that can go wrong is going wrong in my life. Why is that? Because the devil ain't happy. Now, many times people are afraid to preach about the devil because we don't want to make the devil as if he's something. But we've got to know who's our enemy. I don't know if some of you watch MMA fighting or boxing. If you've watched Mayweather against Conor McGregor, like 2019, I think that fight was. Okay. There's something that beforehand, when the guys are meeting one another, and it's the whole show, they're going to meet one another for the press, and they go, and it's always just like, you wait for someone to take like a cheap shot or something like that. Well, this moment, But what the reality is, before you step into that ring, you don't just do your best in training, but you learn and you look at what your opponent does best and make sure you do it better, or you outsmart him. If you do not know who's your opponent, you won't be able to fight him. You won't be able to withstand him. If you don't know the schemes of the devil, you won't know how to stand firm when he comes at you. You won't know what to do when he comes attacking you. But if you know who's your enemy and you know what he does, then you know how to fight him when he comes at you. And I'm going to kick off with 1 Corinthians 16, verse 13, in a New Living Translation. It says, be on guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. And so I want to talk about the one thing that's very important in boxing or in any fight, is your stand. If you've got the wrong stand going into the fight, you make yourself vulnerable to get a good ass whipping. Okay? You make yourself open for a goeie pak slap. Okay? So, one of the very important things is if you don't make yourself ready for what's coming towards you, then it will be easy to push you just over. I mean, if I stand like this and someone will shove you, you'll just fall because there's no stability in this. But the moment when you put your one foot forward, you stand like this, come and push me, I can lead towards you. I can do this. I can go left, right. I can try to duck. I can miss you. But if I stand like this, and I just look like some tree, I don't know. You're open for any kick, any hit. And here's Jesus coming, or Paul teaching us, saying, be on your guard, stand firm. Don't just stand firm. Because why? The devil, it was Kennedy, is like a roaring lion. And he doesn't come to play with you, man. He doesn't come to hit you, and a dog. It's a devouring lion. He's coming at you because you are his prey, and he wants to kill you. He wants to destroy anything of God. He wants to take it down because he hates God. And if you're a child of God, then he sees you as a threat and he wants to take you out. And why is it that we do not take that serious many times in our lives? You know, no, there's grace, there's Jesus, and, he's for us, we can be against us, We go into this relaxed mode, and it's true, we do not need to fear the devil. But we need to know that it's going to come at you. And if you're not going to be firm in the word, if you're not going to be strong in your faith, he's just going to blow at you and you will be falling over. And that's where the thing comes when Jesus says, are you building your house on the sand or on the rock? Because sand is not a firm foundation. Your house is just waiting to be broken. And I think many times, or I don't think, there's something that's just real, is there's this lucrative Christianity in the church and amongst Christians that is just threatening and scary. As if the devil isn't real. As if you don't take your life seriously enough. Do you not know that he hates you? And he wants to destroy everything about you. And that you need to stand firm. Because one of the biggest killers in Christianity is comfort. Comfort kills. You can write it down, tattoo it on your forehead, skryf op your boat, I don't know. Alright? But this is very important. Comfort kills. The moment when you let your guard down, you make yourself open for the attacks of the devil. The moment when you relax is the moment when he attacks. You're right there. Work on it. Yeah. The moment when you relax, he attacks. I'm just going to say it again. The moment when you relax, he attacks. That feels like a Stephen Ferguson. Call it away. So don't relax. Do not let your guard down. Do not think for a moment like, whew, we're out of that storm. Because that's when he wants to come at you the hardest. Do you think because you're on the ground, he won't walk over you? VK Australian Survivor. Are you guys watching that series? Have you ever watched Survivor before? Okay? Something that I've just realized, wie opnuut, wat sê Engelse woord? Recently. Is the guys that get comfortable in the game are the ones that's getting blindsided. I saw it now over and over. The moment that they're the king on top of the world, I've got an idol, I've got the support, and I'm just in control of this game, is the moment when you are the least in control of the game. Because you're letting your guard down. And that's what the devil wants. He wants you to get in that place where you're letting your guard down. But remember, Jesus teaches us in his word where he says, I will give you a peace this world do not understand because they do not know me. Meaning, do not stand and fear the devil. Do not fear, like, oh Lord, where is he coming from again? What's he for in a storm? Where is he going to attack me from? No. Do not live a life of fear, but live a life of faith, stability. Make sense? That when the winds come, that it's not like, oh, it doesn't get you off guard. It's just like, oh, it's another wind. There's PE boys with wild thing. And remember, it's not a fair fight. He'll use every tactic he can. Here's a question. Do you know your weakness as a Christian? What is your weakness as a human being? Paul writes this and he says, there's a thorn in my flesh. And there's so many theology stories about what's this thorn. But when he talks about the thorn in his flesh in that same verse, talking about a thorn in his flesh, he talks about the fact that he might get English. You see, kom jy is Engels, man. Arrogant. Thank you, Joey. So he says, sometimes he must keep himself from being arrogant. Because he's Paul, and he's writing these letters, and he's planting this church. So he had to keep himself from being arrogant and constantly say that, Lord, you are the one working through me. God, all glory goes to you. So the thorn, many people say that thorn was sin, and the sin of arrogance was that thing. But it says, I do not look at this thorn as something from the devil, but something from God to keep me humble. But he knew his weakness. So he constantly could remind himself, hey Paul, watch out, children. Like Cobra Groot, watch out. You know? So many times we do not know our weaknesses. And before you get it, you're like, oh shucks, I just stepped into it again. Wat ek het so pas weer gedoen. You know? Die duimste gered. Los my van nou. Bly my mond. Ag nee. Don't worry, Jesus still loves you. But he can use that thing to take you down. They say always, the weakest, you're as strong as your weakest link. You are as strong as your weakest part of your body. If you do not look at that back door, there's many things that I thought that just I'm done with this, I outgrew it, I spiritually outgrew it, it's not an issue anymore. Ga. You're taking your guard down. En vir jouself kry, het ek so 2 doppietjies te veel gevat. En dan by vrou huis toe. That's a lekker braai gewees. But what am I talking about? I know one of my weaknesses is alcohol. I know that. It's not the one time that you drink 2 glasses of wine too much. The problem is afterwards, then elke braai het 2 glasses te veel. And I've got to watch it. That's my weakness. You know? Some people like women, you know? Onthou guys, jy mag ek eet, so kyk maar lang. But you've got to know what your weakness is, guys. So that you can be prayerful about it. Say, God, give me the strength to overcome this weakness in my life. So it won't become something that the devil can constantly attack me at. And here's one of the things, is this is not a movie. And this is the last point I want to make. Alright? This is not a movie. Why do I say that? Why is it in a movie that the good guy needs to get a good whipping before he gets his powder next moment? Right? And he comes back and he starts fighting. Because it's just Rambo, Rocky, and Arnold. It looks like the first fight is always like, you know, the good guy's getting himself, you know, bord gevoeter, and then somewhere out of the blue he finds this energy to fight back. You know, and it's just back and forth, and then eventually the good guy wins, okay? And we think sometimes this is like a movie, you know, it's a back and a forth and a back and a forth. No. Remember who you are in this fight. You are the child of God. He is the devil. Jesus has already overcome him. He's risen. He's overcome death. Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father. Jesus lives in you. That means you sit at the right hand of the Father. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to you. So you have the power to not just withstand, but to remind the devil that he is the loser in this fight. Even if he's throwing sand at you, roaring, screaming at you with whatever means, you know who you are, and that's the part where you've got to stand firm. This is how you stand firm. You stand firm by knowing who you are in the fight. If for a moment you flinches or you forget that you are a child of God and you've got all authority, and here's the thing, the devil will try to remind you and say, yeah, remember last night you had 2 dope too much, now you want to stand firm. I'm still a child of God. I was just a naughty child. And then we start for this. Okay? There's a difference. My identity doesn't change who I am. I am who I am. I'm a child of God. And you've got no control or hold of my heart, devil. Maybe I had a banana slip there, but I'm fine. I'm a child of God. My relationship isn't built on the stoute goed I do. My relationship is totally different. Totally different thing. But we're going to go into it in that series. In this series we'll talk about that more. But it says in John 13 verse 33 in the NIV, it says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome this world. I've told you these things. It shouldn't come as any surprise when the devil attacks you. It shouldn't be a surprise when you feel like, Lord, it's just blow after blow after blow. It's fight after fight after fight. It just feels like storm after storm after storm. I just can't take this anymore. And that's the right prayer. There's nothing wrong with praying. Say, dear God, give me the strength to just keep on standing. But it shouldn't be a surprise. Because the more storms you face, the more you know that God is on your side. Why does the devil want to attack someone if he's happy with you? He'll only attack a great threat. So if you're a threat to him, he's got a huff and he's got a puff and he's going to give his all to blow you down. And so when the storms come, know that you're in the right place. Isn't it after black? You are in right standing with God because the devil ain't happy with you. And when things around you happen, know who your God is. Know who you are in God. That you sit on the right hand of the Father. That you are his son and his daughter. No matter the weather, that's what the song that Brendan sung. No matter the season, no matter the weather, you can withstand it. But you've got to stand firm. If you forget who you are, go back to the Word of God. Go read. The moment you feel you're slipping a bit, go back to God. Get closer to God. The closer you get, the less you will slip. The closer you get, the safer you will feel. But the further you are, the less safe you will feel. The further you are from God, the more vulnerable you feel. Get right up against God, in his arms. And know that you can weather any storm. You can go through any fight. And we've got to talk later about it, but there's one great thing. You've got the best coach ever. You might feel alone in the ring, but God coached you. He's right next to you, shouting, giving you what you need to do. And in the ring, you've got Jesus. He's the referee. And the devil, the loser. And you, the victor. That is the order. That's how it is. Remind yourself about that. And then don't go into this fight thinking it's a fair fight. But be on your guard. Stand firm in your faith. Be courageous. And be strong. That's who you are. That's your characteristics. So Brendan, if you won't come. And I just want to ask you, if we could go to worship this song. I just want to ask you just to close your eyes and just for a second say, yes, God, where should I be weary of? Where's the weakness that I need to be weary of? That I feel like, God, this is a part that the devil constantly attacks. There's a back door that is open and I should close it. There's a part of me that I'm leaving vulnerable. I'm leaving it open for the devil to attack. Where should I close that door in my life? And if you're in a place where you feel that you're under serious stress and serious pressure, and it just feels like your knees are giving in, I just want to do a prayer for you. While Dylan is just starting to play the song, I just first want to do a prayer for you. Because the Word of God says this, it says, strengthen those knees, make straight those arms. That God pick you up. And this year will be the year of great success for you. It will be a year of peace, of blessing. Everything comes with a fight. There's always a storm. But don't worry about the storm. Don't focus on the storm. And so let's just close our eyes. And if you're in that place, I'll let you reach your bed. I'm just going to switch off your cards. My English is a bit of that. Ja, onze Vader, Heer, dankie dat ons dit volgende dat U woord dit weer kan hoor en ons self kan herinner, Heer, dat Heer, U die duiwel oorwin. En Vader, ons lewe nou in U, Heer. En God, in die oorlog en die fight wat ons osself bevind as kinders van die Heer, as mense, daar sal altyd een of ander iets wees, Heer, wat die duiwel probeer om ons te kry en ons self te laat val of swak voel, of voel dat iets ver van ons af, of eers nie vir ons nie, eers soms voel dalk wie met teen ons is, Here. Maar mag ons die leuns van die vyand glo nie, Here, maar weet U is vir ons, Here. En elke level, Here, bring nuwe fights, Here. So waar ons 'n nuwe fight beleef, ons weet, ons is een trekkie hoër op, Here. En so wat kom bid, kom strengthen us, Lord. Mag die Heilige Gees ons harte kom versterk, Here, ons denke, ons emosies, Here, kom versterk, my God, Here, sodat ons kan vasstaan op U woord, my God, Here, kan vasstaan, weet U is vir ons, U is met ons, Here, en ons hoef nie duim te vrees nie, Here, maar al wat ons moet doen is vasstaan en vir ons kom, en onsself herinner, dat ons is die wenners. En so ek kom bid in die naam van Jesus Christus, en kom sê dankie daarvoor, Here. Amen.
till you know.
Amen, guys. That wraps it up for this. But I know Sybil's got some great coffee brewing at the back for you. So please go grab yourself another cup. And also our next service will be the 30th. So it will be every second Sunday where we have a service in the morning. And we'll obviously have to add some chairs because we already see the church full. But thanks for coming, and yeah, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you don't. And yeah, it'd be nice to see y'all again then on the 30th. So otherwise, grab a cup of coffee and kuier 'n bietjie nog saam met ons, ja? Cool.